Hello, history and philosophy class. Hi Marty. Hi Mallory. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Corey Lane. I'm an outdoor leadership major and a December graduate, and this is a presentation for my internship. I'm sorry that I could not be there to present in person, but I'll try to make this as interesting as possible. My internship has taken place in Washington State since the middle of summer. It's been a full-time internship, so I've received 12 credits for it, and I've actually built the internship out of 3 different opportunities. Over the summer, I worked at the Little Star Montessori School in Winthrop, Washington as a summer camp counselor. And then from August to November, I worked in the Seattle Tilt Children's Garden as a garden educator. And finally, since September, I've been working as an elementary school teacher at the Attic Learning Community, which is a school just east of Seattle. As I tell you about each of my internship pieces, I'm going to show you some slides and pictures while I give you an audio voiceover, and then I'll come back to do some reflections in video form, so hopefully it'll all work together. Okay, so my first internship piece was working at the Little Star Montessori School as a summer camp counselor. The camp ran for 6 weeks and was broken up into week-long sessions with various themes, but it was pretty much the same group of kids throughout the summer. I worked with different teachers in different sessions each week, but I was primarily with the same group of kids, 6 to 8, all summer. One of the lessons I learned while working at Little Star was that while camp is fun, it definitely is not what I wanted to do with my life. I never really felt challenged while working there, and I didn't really feel needed. While this may have been partially due to the fact that I was a last-minute, unexpected volunteer, and the teachers didn't really know what to do with me, the whole experience was too free-form. I wanted to be more involved in planning, and overall just be more prepared. Another lesson that I learned was that the Montessori model is not really for me. While I agree with the philosophy of teaching to the whole child, I didn't think that many of the Montessori classroom practices best fit this goal. In particular, the idea of the quote-unquote prepared environment strikes me as inauthentic. The theory goes that by deliberately setting up an environment with many activities to choose from, children are free to explore and learn at their own pace. The problem is that the priorities used to establish this environment are those of teachers and not of students. While this inconsistency I perceive does not discount the whole philosophy of Montessori, it does raise some questions for me. I'll tell you more about how my internship has impacted my view of classroom practices in a bit. Before I get to that, I'll tell you about my second internship piece. From August to November, I worked in the Seattle Tilt Children's Garden, leading experiential garden tours for school groups. Seattle Tilt is a 30-year-old organization that seeks to promote sustainable urban agriculture through education. Their children's garden is a space set aside for kids to explore and learn without feeling like they are being lectured. The kids can pick and eat from the garden, and almost all of the gardening is done by the kids themselves. My job as a garden educator was extremely rewarding, primarily because I enjoyed seeing kids have fun in the garden. Other highlights from this internship were the gardening skills I learned in the garden and various professional development opportunities I had outside the garden. The biggest lesson I learned, however, was that outdoor education programs do not satisfy my desire for long-term educational relationships. While the philosophy and structure of outdoor programs can create powerful experiences, their long-term impact is often limited because they are brief encounters. In my other role as classroom teacher, I greatly valued the ongoing relationship I have with my students. Another big aha for me at Seattle Tilt was that I need to be more proactive in taking on leadership roles. Because of my past experience with environmental education, I was comfortable leading tours in the garden from the very beginning. Despite this comfort level, I did not take on as much responsibility as I could have. My supervisors told me that I could step in and be a mentor for other volunteers or lead more staff debriefings whenever I wanted, but I never really felt like this was expected of me. To complicate this problem, my energy was being split between this job and my classroom job, and so I did not really feel motivated to take initiative. While this made my internship less stressful, it did cut down on some potential learning opportunities for me, and this is one of my biggest regrets from this internship piece. My last internship piece has been working as an elementary school teacher at the Attic Learning Community. The Attic is designed as a place to support homeschoolers K through 12 and their families, and consequently meets only 3 days per week and about 90 per year. Another major difference between the Attic and most other schools is that, except in math, there is no established curriculum. Students at the Attic are given a tremendous amount of freedom in choosing the projects and subjects they want to focus on. My job is to facilitate and encourage their exploration while challenging each student to deepen their thinking. This has been an incredibly rewarding opportunity for me, as it has allowed me to reconcile my love of experiential, learner-centered methods with my desire for long-term teaching. My biggest lesson while working at the Attic has been an increased understanding of how educational practices influence motivation and learning. In stark contrast to most schools, the Attic does not use rewards, such as grades or even praise. The result of this practice is that students are required to evaluate their own efforts and in the process gain considerable self-awareness. Students at the Attic also follow their own internal motivation instead of external expectations, and are therefore deeply involved in all of their daily activities. Being a witness and facilitator of this exploration has solidified my commitment to classroom teaching. While I was once too frustrated with traditional education to even consider teaching in a classroom, working at the Attic has shown me that it is indeed possible to practice experiential education methods within a school setting. Hi again. Reflecting on my internship as a whole, the 3 opportunities I engaged in accurately reflect my lifelong evolution as an educator. My camp counselor position at Little Star reflects my initial motivation for teaching, my love of children, as well as my first experiences with teaching. Working as a garden educator in the Seattle Children's Garden reflects my discovery of experiential education in general and outdoor education specifically. This discovery was significant because without it, I may never have overcome my frustration with traditional education. Finally, my position at the Attic demonstrates that the progressive educational philosophy I have developed over the years is in fact possible to practice in a school setting. Overall, my internship experiences have been an invaluable tool for reflecting on my journey as a learner and an educator. Thank you.